Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So I have completed the Tower of Champions for the first time in Monster Strike in the JP version, and so I have access to the Fuin no Gyokuro for the first time. And that stands for the sealed round watchtower. I've seen some people call it the Jade something or other, but although it does use a kanji which can be read as Jade, it means round in this case. Because the thing is clearly round and clearly not green. So that's that. And ever since I saw this come out when I was playing the English version but watching YouTube of the JP version, I was very, very excited to try this. And it's fun. It's like a bingo board, and then as you complete lines, then you can unlock certain rewards. And then the first line that you complete, you get one of each of the dragon gems, and then from there you get like a divine charl and then orbs and things. And then one of kind of the most strict rules about this thing is that once you use a character for one of these quests, they are not allowed to be used in any other quest on the bingo board. So it really kind of tests your box. Or it tests your skill if you're very good with drop monsters. But it's kind of interesting to go through and then, think about which monsters to use where if you only have a limited amount. And I definitely have a limited amount. And actually, if I had completed the Tower of Champions last month, I probably wouldn't have been able to have gotten very far through the Fuin no Gyokuro. But in the last month, I picked up a lot of impossible monsters and more super extreme monsters. So I was able to get pretty far. And then there are a lot of modes of thought about how to get through this thing. Some people think to go for the hardest ones first and use all your Hatcher monsters there. Some people say go for the easy ones first and then try to beat them with really weak monsters. I went for the second strategy. I just beat the ones that I could and got them out of the way. But I always kept in the back of my mind which Hatcher monsters I wanted to use for which more difficult quests. But yeah, let's have a look at my run through Izanami. We won't watch the thing in real time, but we'll speed it up and then we'll just watch the last little bit so that we can see what happens after we clear a stage. Okay, and no drops of the monsters from these quests. We only get turtles or sometimes divine charls. But we can get spirit points the same way. Okay, next screen. Izanami's square is filled, and then if I look in there, I get a little list of which monsters I have used. And I tried to play it again. It said it's already cleared, so you can't play it anymore. And then, the monsters down there can't use anymore. And then, as of this video, I've beaten them all except for one. So let's go back into the game and then see how that's going. Okay, so here is my almost completed bingo board. And one other thing that I forgot to mention is that the position of the missions is always random, except that the 5 colossal quests, the first 5 colossal quests, they are always in the corners or in the center there. Alrighty, and then let me show you which monsters I used for each quest. And I'm pretty proud of this because I used lots of drop monsters, and then I didn't have a great selection of Hatcher monsters, but anyway. Here is Eden. I used Tsukuyomi, and then Kaoru Lucifer Evolution. He is from the Eva collaboration. Pierce with no warp, and then the plasma bump combo and the meteor strike shot. He was fine. I'm still using him in my main farming team actually, because I just don't have anybody else. And then the last one is Barojika Ascension, and he's also pretty good. Okay, next was Izanagi Zero. I do have trouble with this guy, so I used 2 Hatcher monsters, Asuka and Rei. And then Sphinx Ascension. She's also pretty good for Izanagi 0. For Tsukuyomi, I used the no gravity barrier characters that I didn't want to use in any other quest. So that was Hikaru Genji, and then Asuka Uriaru, and then Kaoru Lucifer Ascension. And yeah, if you don't have enough Hatcher monsters, then you kind of have to rely on your drop monsters. So that's why I used him here. He's perfectly strong though. And yeah, I really came to appreciate the super extreme monsters going through these quests. Next up is Daikokuten. I used a free party here. I used Arcadia, Marishten, and then Sphinx Evolution. They were pretty good. Arcadia is very strong. He's almost overpowered. Next up is Yomi. This one is also really difficult for me, so I used Uriel, my one Uriel Transcendent. I used Eden, and then I used Hikari Transcendent. Thankfully, I got this clear on the first time. So yeah, that could have been painful, but it went pretty smoothly. Next up is Yamato Takeru 0, and then this is going to be my future farming team actually. Joya Bedouin Evolution, and then 2 of Shinji Kaoru. They are broken for this quest. Really strong bump combo, they're pierced so it's easy to hit each other, and then they have the AT field, which can block the speed bomb, so they're just ridiculous. I'm definitely going to make the max luck of Yamato Takeru 0. Next up is Karuma, and I saved him for last because he's really tough. I used Yomi, who's really good for the mission, and then Daki and Fuyo. And yeah, they're really great for lots of different missions, but I needed them for Karuma because he's tough for me. And next up was Akasha. He was pretty easy. I used Kanan and Daikokuten, and then my other Rei, I have 2 of her, and that was pretty good. Kanan is really strong. I really should use her more. Here is Yamato Takeru. I used Kushinada 0, Arthur, and Ibaraki Doji. That was fine. And then Memento Mori, I used Kain, Agnemut X, and then another Shinji Kaoru. I was lucky enough to pull 4 of him. And so 3 light and then 1 water. And then the 3 light really came in handy for this Fuin no Gyokuro. And actually playing through this really made me just want more characters, want duplicates of Impossibles and Colossals and Super Extremes. And Hatcher monsters, of course, so maybe I'll look at that in the future. Here's Izanami 0, another free party. I used Blueberry, Holdeye, and Galaxy Serpent Evolution. And they're very strong, they're pretty good. Avalon, I used my main farming team, Yamato Takeru Kai, Shibai Evolution, and then Miroku Evolution. And actually I lost a lot to her. I don't know, when the actual mission comes around, I have a pretty good clear rate. But for some reason I kept losing to Avalon. Okay, Izanami we just looked at. We used Shinji, and then Jabberwocky Evolution, and then Sirius Ascension. Yeah, I pulled this guy and I was like, ugh, I hope he gets a Transcendent form soon. But he was just fine for Izanami here. And actually, this bingo board, it kind of raises the usefulness of some characters that you wouldn't normally use, just because you have the limit on how many characters you can use. And then here is a Fudomyo, another free party. I used Nirai Kanai, Ashura, and then Vritora Evolution, I think it is. That wasn't too bad. Ashura, I used Susano, and then the Shiba siblings, and then Tsubasa. And for Tsukuyomi 0, I used Elizabeth and Hawk. And yeah, for a long time I felt like this was like a joke unit that I would never use. But they're actually perfectly fine for Tsukuyomi 0. The wave is really powerful actually, and it can take like at least half of the life bar from the little guys just in one hit. And then the recovery is nice, the null block is great of course, and the healing from strike shot also good. If you haven't tried her in Tsukuyomi 0, it might be good. She's pretty good. And then I used Maeda Keiji and then Karuma, the impossible monster. That was fine. Keiji's just broken for this mission. Just use the strike shot on the last stage and you're set, basically. And then for Marishten, I used a free party again. Wada Bedion or Kevin Ascension, Akasha, and then Jun Ascension. That was fine. For Kushinada, also Free Party, Scorpica Evolution, Devadatta, and then Nirvana. For Doom, I have trouble with him, so I used maybe my best Hatcher monster of Meleados, and then also Yamata Takeru Zero, and then Hendrickson. And I was really wondering where to use Hendrickson, just because he's good for so many missions. But I needed him for this one, just because Doom is tough for me. And actually, because again of this Watchtower, I wish I had multiples of Hendrickson. I might go through my monster box and see if I have any extras. Maybe I'll evolve them. Okay, and then we'll skip Shambhala. We'll go to Nirvana. This was a free party as well. Nirvana, Bishamonten, and Karen. That was pretty good. Kushinada Zero, I used Yumiru Evolution, Mikumo Evolution, and then Monster Rose Ascension. And Yumiru is pretty strong. His strike shot charges up every 3 rounds, I think, and speed goes way up. It's pretty crazy. And then Izanagi, we used a free party here too. Shibai Ascension, I think, and then Koyuki Ascension and Yumiru Ascension. And then finally for Nidaikanai, we used Scorpica Ascension, and she's very strong. This is my first time using her here. But she was pretty crazy. She'll be good as a max luck. And then Nightingale, and then Ribbon. So yeah, those are the characters that I used. And then if we go into Shambhala, we can kind of put together a team to see who we can use. And then the reason why I made the video now instead of after finishing Shambhala is because I wanted to show you all of the characters that I've used, and then the ones that I have left over. Just to see how close I was just to making it. And yeah, if you do play solo, of course, the 3 characters on your team, they will be counted as used, so you can't use them again. So that means you need 75 monsters basically to get through the Watchtower alone. If you play with friends, you might have to only use 2 or 1 character. But yeah, if you don't have 75, then you're going to have to rely on match play. But anyway, for Shambhala, I'm not going to play now, but we'll just pick this person. And then I'm going to go to the team select, and then we can see everybody who's left. So the characters up here, 52, those are the ones that I have not used so far. So these are the ones available. And then if we go down here, 72. These are the characters that I've already used for the other quests, which I'm not allowed to use anymore. So I don't have a big selection left to work with this final mission. But I do know who I'm going to use. It's going to be Ban, and then Skitty and Avalon, which is the same team I think I used as the video I made of Shambhala. So yeah, that is a little look at the Fuin no Gyokuro. And then once I beat Shambhala, I will reveal who I'm going to give the Hero's Crest to, or the Hero's Scroll rather. That's this thing on the left. If you give it to any character, they will gain another Ableberry slot. And I've been looking forward to this for a very long time. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.